You may think it's another render node or workstation for graphic studio. Well, it is not. It is server for Institute of Biochemistry of Polish National University. And let's see how it is made. Well, it is made of Ryzen Threadripper 3 3970X and 4 RTX 2080 Ti. It has a Revo dual pump, and how exactly the flow is optimized and the temperature are optimized, let's go with it. Well, the flow starts from pumps, of course, goes through the filter, goes through the flow check, then goes to terminal, through the terminal to another side. On another side we have two big radiators with dual thumbs, push-pull, so it goes exactly to 360 millimeters, then goes up to 480 millimeters, and then goes back to the other side, and then it goes exactly here, so to the CPU, and from the CPU to the top radiator, from the top radiator to front radiator. 26 fans, 5 quick couple disconnects, big reservoir, and a lot of work. And in fact, Gigabyte Designare is not only Gigabyte's work. Well, I had a big problem with this build because the Gigabyte thinks that the good BIOS is not working BIOS. Well, I will give you the right answer how this happened. Well, the first motherboard died. The second motherboard, right after start, showed me D4 code, which is PC lines aggregation failure. Well, it happened that I found the answer, what is D4 exactly for this motherboard, that for someone, eSupport gave the answer, you have to enable disable CSM and enable above 4G decoding. Well, okay, I get the cards off the board, put the air-cooled graphic card and change the options. But then I changed the options again, putting in XMP, and the board showed me D4 because defaults and failsafe options were made for CSM on and above 4G decoding off. So in fact, I took out this card 7 times. I was modifying BIOS. In BIOS there are 2 parts where the options for above 4G decodings are off, and so I had some problems, but having quick couple disconnects, it was possible to take it out, and yeah, not destroying the cards and all the stuff. So you can see the flow is above 4 liters, almost 4.5 liter, and the pumps are now disconnected from the flow. This motherboard has many problems, and I would not recommend it if you don't know what you're doing. If you don't know how to modify the BIOS, don't go for this motherboard. You will be destroyed and you will have a lot of problems. And also, like this, there's a thermal sensor connection there, but you cannot steer from that sensor connection just near the PWM fan connectors. You cannot steer from this temperature sensor for the fans from PWM CPU fan connector. No, you would have to connect it at the bottom of the board, because in BIOS there's no option like that. So yep, it is a complicated build, and what can I say? Happy I am that I can modify the BIOS. I've checked it, load 3 times, set up the faults, and it all works. I've also loaded my profile many times, also it is working. So now I have this server running, but after 9 days I would be still struggling. And on Reddit there is also information that one guy is waiting for the different BIOS from the start of the May. So yep. And there is a modification to that case, because this case doesn't have the support for this pump. So I've drilled in this front plate and put the pump there, because it was for me obvious that it should be there. So anyway, that's how it works, and how it was made. And let's go to see how it performs.